There you go. Maybe, Kim, if we start with you,
yeah, no worries.
If we could get you to hold the wing microphone, that'd be great. Just help us with our audio.
Yeah, no worries.
And
I'm recording.
Kim, obviously having the couple of victories already over Redan must give you a great deal of confidence going into such a big match.
Yeah, look, we have to have confidence. Everyone has to have confidence going into games, but the two games we have played against Redan have been really difficult games, really physically hard games. So, you know, they've always been one of our bogey teams. So I'm sure they're going to throw everything at us. But, you know, finals are totally different, so who knows what they're going to throw at us. And, no, we might have an off day, but they're a quality team. So, yeah, I'm a bit scared of them, to tell you the truth.
Relatively low scoring encounters, I think, 35-28, 34-26.
Yeah, I think when we've played in the weather conditions haven't sort of met either team's ideal conditions. This week it's going to be, I think, 21 or 22. That's Melbourne weather, of course. So,
yeah.
So it should be a great day for netball and encourage both our running games. So, yeah, it should be a bit of a tight tussle, I think.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of your lineup, are you at full strength?
Yeah, we had Sophie Gunn return last week from A&L duties, and Beck Moffat return as well. So we'll be at full strength on Saturday, bar from a couple of illnesses we've got at the moment. But that's fine, just a flu, that'll be right.
And in terms of any additions to the list from last year's successful lineup that perhaps are not necessarily as finals experienced as perhaps some of your better players?
We've got two new girls in our team this year. We've lost Sophie O'Kane, who's travelled overseas, who's very experienced. But we've put Emily Aspardi and Ruth Smith into the lineup. Emily's had VNL experience, and Ruth also has a lot of experience. She's only a 19-year-old, but she's played for Victoria and represented Northern Territory in the under-19s competition this year. So, in the under-19 state titles this year. So, you know, they know what big games are all about. They'll stand up. They have all season when we've had some big games. So, yeah, I'm really proud of them, how they've come in and just gelled into the team. They've been great.
And a big fitness focus this year for Sunbury?
Fitness, my girls are all pretty fit normally. Like our centre player, Prue Stanley, is an ultra-marathon runner. They're all pretty much fitness fanatics, to tell you the truth. So that's really not an issue for us.
Most of the year you've been, well, not every week, but pretty close to it, just at the top of the ladder, like seemingly coasting. I know you probably haven't felt it yourself, but it seems to have been, the remainder of the teams in the top six have been chopping and changing, but you guys have just been up the top the whole time. Do you view yourselves as the hunted or the favourites heading into the final series?
Anytime you win a grand final, you're the hunted. You're sitting on top of the ladder, of course you're going to be hunted. To tell you the truth, it wasn't where we were even contemplating finishing on top. You know, to tell the truth, we don't care where we finish. We just wanted to get in the finals, and you can do anything from there. It's nice. It's just it's a nice add-on to win a minor premiership, but it's not our focus. So the competition's really evened up this year, though, and that's why you've seen that that quagmire at the top of the table, I think. But it was really close to us losing the top a couple of times, and virtually, I think, even down to the second last game, the whole top five structure could have changed. So in that terms, it's been a fantastic season.
Do you feel pressure heading into it?
No.
No?
No, we just go out there and play our game. We love it. When you enjoy something so much and you just love playing netball, I don't think there's much pressure there at all.
As opposed to previous years, there probably is actually 6 teams that can realistically win. Do you agree with that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. As I said, it's been a fantastic season, and this is what I've noticed from last season. The standards picked up totally. You know, there's Redan have always been strong. North Ballarat is still a strong team. East Point and Melton, you know, they're all fantastic teams. So anyone could win the final. It doesn't matter where you finish. You can finish 6th and still win.
You've played Redan a lot in the past. Would they go down as your biggest rival? Do you think that the most biggest rivalry?
We've only really, the structure of the team we have at the moment, this is only our second year in with the girls, so to say we've got a rivalry, I don't really know. I don't feel a rivalry there. We just go out and play our games every year. I don't know if Kate feels the same, but you know, every game is different and every team is different. there might have been a history there beforehand that I'm unaware of, but we don't really feel much of a rivalry there. We just, as I said, we just go out and take every team as it's presented before us.
And Rick just was with him before you signed on as coach for another year, at least?
Yeah, I'll most probably go again next season. We'll just see what the structure of our team's like. I know there's a few girls coming back, Sophie Gunn's coming back, and most of our mid-court structure's coming back. So a few of the girls are getting a little bit older and want to start families, so that might be an effect. So we might have to look at some other players somewhere along the line.
Thank you.
Kate jumped in the second position last week. It might have nearly been the first time we've been all year. At least the first time for a while anyway. So yeah, you jumped in the second spot, double chance with the last game of the year. Obviously a massive achievement. What are your thoughts now after you claimed that?
Well, I came in the lead up to last week. We definitely had all our eyes set on that second spot. There was a lot of talk through the week because there was going to be the top four teams playing off as to where we would finish and where we would like to finish. I think both Kim and myself, Sunbury and Redan, have both won a premiership and third spot in the last 4 years. So, and I think it's within the BFL, everyone does not mind finishing third. But like I said to the girls, our finals campaign started last week for us, and it was really important, I think, along the lines of what Kim's been saying, because the teams are just so strong from 1 through to 6 that you don't want to put the foot off the pedal at any point. So we had a very strong intention to finish second, and I'm really proud of the girls for doing that because it's really set us up for a really strong final series. So it's good. Yeah,
you've flown under the radar, do you think, a bit this year? You haven't had the crushing wins that some of the other not better sides, some of the other top sides have had. Do you think you might not come to the attention to other teams as much?
Well, Redan's predominantly, I think, never really been in the forefront of anyone's mind. I think when they talk about premierships, favourites, and I still even think, although we finished second, I think if you asked a room full of 100 people, I'm not sure whether you'd get the top response of being Redan as the premiership favourite. So it's something that sits very well with this club, and it's something that just definitely we don't worry about. In regard to the wins throughout the season, at the start of the season I had a squad that started with 12 players, and a lot of them were very inexperienced players, and I had a real goal through the year to blood the bench as much as possible, and I think I had a mindset at the start that I would forgo any percentage to make sure that all of my bench had a run on the court throughout the season, and I've done that. And I suppose a couple of weeks ago I was sort of thinking to myself, well, we really haven't got the percentage, but I was always confident of our run in, and I was always confident that as long as I played the cards right and as long as we had our team going really well, that we'd have a really nice game against Melton in the lead up. So it has done, I suppose, fallen into place for us the way that we wanted, and that's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah. Was it a bit of a risk doing it that way, do you think?
No, because it's all about, it's all about what you want at the end of the day. Like like sort of Kim just said, the eye isn't on the prize of finishing on top of the ladder. It's where you want to be at the end of September. So I'm not really all that interested in peaking at the end of April or July or even August. As long as I'm getting the girls building. We've actually been training twice a week for the last month, and particularly my defence end have started training for the last 4 sessions. We've had 4 sessions with my full squad, and that's happened in the last month. So it's all moving in a really nice direction, and so we're not all that stressed. And as I say, as long as you're playing your best netball at the end of September, that's all I'm really concerned about.
Kate, the losses came by 7 goals and by 8 goals. Were there any trends that came out of those 2 losses that you had to Sunbury during the course of the home and away season?
Was it 7? Is it 7 or?
Sorry, 7? 7 and 8.
Do you know what, Wes? Yes, under 10 goals, which is I think. Yeah, and your direct question was, sorry?
Oh, sorry, just...
No, sorry, it was my fault.
No, that's okay. have you identified any trends between the two games that perhaps they outplayed you and that was a consistent theme?
No, actually, both games were, in my eyes, completely different games. In the first time we played against Sunbury, I had my pride players out, so I had my starting goal attack and starting centre out of the team. So again, that was a real development sort of phase for us at the beginning of the year. So I was really proud of the girls to stick with them as tightly as we did. And more recently, we've played again, and again, it's we've just been training in the last month and really using the weeks to really get some plays in and iron out some issues that we've had. And it was really starting to come together when we were playing them last. And I'm not particularly, I suppose, disheartened by the losses so much, but I was very much pleased that we were sticking with them all the way. And it's like anyone that plays, you know, against us or any opponent that you have, as long as you're taking something out of each game and learning to, you know, grow on that and try and make it better the next time, then that's the goal. So we're under 10 goals, we can definitely turn that around and be on the opposite end of the scoreboard, which is, I suppose, what we're hoping we can do this weekend.
And we've all pretty much agreed the fact that any of the 6 sides in it can win it. So your expectations, the season hasn't reached, I suppose, what you were hoping for if you don't win it?
Well, yeah, oh look, at the end of the day, I said to my girls, it's all about this weekend, because you really want to set up your pathway that you have through September. And, you know, like Kim and I have both run our teams from 3rd, and it's a nice spot to be because you get the second chance in that second week, I suppose. So for me, it's all about the win this week, so we can go on and have our opportunity to go into the grand final. And I'm definitely not at all scared or worried about playing every week through September. I always like to sort of keep the momentum going and keep the girls fresh. I'm not particularly fussed about whether or not we have, you know, whether you get the chance to have a week off. It's not really. I just want, you know, to get into the grand final. But first and foremostly, the opposition that we've got this weekend is just such high quality opposition, as it was last weekend against Melton. I think we've had the perfect lead up to an opportunity like playing against Sunbury in the first round. And look, we're full respect to all the other teams. We've got someone in the 6th position that played in the grand final last year, and in the middle you've got teams that have played off in the finals all for the last 5 or 6 years. So really, it's not really much of you prefer to play one team than the other. You just prefer to win, and that's our intention.
And clearly, you would too be of the opinion the fact that the standard of play just continues to rise, which I suppose, just from a netball sense, is just such a fantastic thing for the competition.
Yeah, for the city of Ballarat, the BFL I think has really been a nice focus, particularly in the last couple of years, and I'd have to say particularly in the last 12 months, being involved in, I suppose, this and the regional state league as well. It's really just starting to show that there is a lot of strength in, I suppose, the athletes in this area, and also in our eastern block. It's really a great opportunity for Ballarat to have such players of high calibre that you see in the teams such as Melton and Sunbury coming to compete against the girls, and ultimately it just makes our athletes better and, you know, I suppose fitter as well, and it makes it a greater spectacle, and that of course leads to hopefully nice crowds to come and see some really high quality netball through September.
Thank you very much, that's great. Thanks, ladies.